In the previous episode, witnessing the man she loves, Twilight, being humiliated by Winston, Fiona unleashed astonishing strength and punched Winston away. However, she paid the price with a broken arm. Fiona told Winston that only a weakling like him, who feared death, was incapable of trusting anyone. She, on the other hand, always thought of Twilight and believed in him. In other words, she was the stronger one, making it impossible for Winston to defeat her. Winston thought Fiona was merely putting on a brave face. With both arms and one leg injured, he believed victory was still his if he kept his distance. But he never expected Fiona would violently swing her dislocated arm at him. This unexpected blow finally knocked Winston unconscious. However, consumed by rage, Fiona had no intention of stopping. Fortunately, Twilight regained consciousness just in time to stop her. After securing Winston, the two rested on the spot, waiting for their colleagues to arrive. During their conversation, Fiona suddenly realized Twilight might have heard everything she said. She thought to herself that if he had, she would rather kill him and then commit suicide. Unaware of her thoughts, Twilight mistook her flushed face for anger over his nearly compromising the mission. He quickly explained that he hadn't killed Yuri for fear that Yuri, grieving her brother's death, might abandon their fake marriage, jeopardizing the entire mission. Fiona understood that Twilight was merely rationalizing his actions. But for various reasons, she chose not to challenge him. So, their backup arrived. Since Fiona was severely injured, Twilight had to carry her to the extraction point. For Fiona, however, being on Twilight's back was far more nerve-wracking than her physical wounds. Thanks to everyone's efforts, the mission concluded without major disaster. Although Wise captured Winston, they also lost their informant within the state security service, so it could hardly be called a complete victory. For Twilight, however, another headache remained: how to address Yuru's apparent dissatisfaction with their married life. Upon returning home, Twilight expected to face Yuru's displeasure over his late return. To his surprise, Yuri simply smiled and welcomed him back. Relieved but utterly drained, Twilight collapsed to his knees. Struggling to his feet, he prepared to continue their morning discussion. Yuri quickly explained that she had only said those things because her colleagues insisted that mutual dissatisfaction was normal in a marriage. This finally allowed Twilight's tense nerves to relax, and he slumped to the floor. He asked Yuri to handle the household chores the next day, as he needed proper rest. Yuri wasn't displeased. In fact, she was happy. She wished Twilight would rely on her more like this, instead of always trying to be perfect. Although Twilight agreed for Bali, the day's events reinforced his belief that this is a world where imperfection meant survival. Just as he was about to say more, Yuri burst through the door, noticing a possible injury on Twilight's right arm. Yuri had a bold suspicion. However, when he pushed up Twilight's sleeve, he found no gunshot wound. Remembering Twilight's ability to perfectly disguise even unseen individuals, Yuri dismissed the idea that Twilight might be living right under his nose. While bathing, Twilight removed the disguise covering his wound. He was taken aback that Yuri had detected his injury from a single gesture and once again chastised himself for his carelessness. Then, noticing a burning smell from the room, he suspected Yuri had returned, only to find it was just Yuri accidentally setting his clothes on fire. This roller coaster of events finally proved too much, and he fainted. The next day, Gerald visited the injured Fiona and asked her to pass the VIP documents Twilight had mentioned earlier to him. He was soon chased out by a nurse for disturbing the patient. In fact, the nurse was Sylvia in disguise. With both Twilight and Fiona seriously injured, she, as the commander, had to temporarily fill in, due to her inhuman training regimen, undertaken earlier to compete with Yuri. Fiona's physical fitness had greatly improved, allowing for a swift recovery. Nevertheless, Sylvia ordered Fiona never to risk her life like that again, not even for Twilight. Meanwhile, the Forger family was enjoying breakfast. Anya was surprised that Yuri's cooking was actually a little tasty today. Yuri revealed she had woken up early and prepared for a long time. Looking at the state of the kitchen, Twilight felt a wave of helplessness. It seemed he needed to recover quickly after all. With Twilight needing to rest, Yuri took over helping Anya with her homework. Looking at Anya's drawing of a lion, Yuri asked if she had enjoyed the zoo yesterday. Anya said she had a great time and mentioned she thought the lion, the king of beasts, was very cool. Hearing this, Bond immediately started cosplaying as a lion. Thrilling Anya, she asked Bond if he could transform into other animals, but that seemed to be asking too much of him. Watching Bond blissfully enjoy being brushed by Yuri, Anya clamored for Yuri to brush her hair too. Just then, Franklin arrived to deliver something to Twilight. Caught up in the fun, Anya suggested they brush Franklin's hair as well. The playful commotion looked wild. It seemed getting a good rest wasn't going to be easy either. The story of the Forger family pauses here for now. Whether Operation Strix will ultimately succeed will be revealed in the next season. Stay tuned to my channel for the latest updates on the new series.